Hey, David, I've got a question about AQOS issuance mechanism.
Sure, what is it?
I think the public purchase price is a brilliant idea. Knowing the maximum possible loss in advance is a great reference point when making investment decisions. But the offering price rises by 1 cent each time, while PPP only increases slightly. Doesn't that disadvantage later investors?
Great question, that's exactly right. Early holders can get a buyback at around 50% of their purchase price, while those who buy during the second initial offering might only get 30%.
So, does that mean people who buy later end up losing out?
Not necessarily. While the gap between the offering price and PPP widens, it doesn't mean most holders will rush to sell at PPP. If someone can buy below the initial offering price, they're actually quite lucky, right? Since PPP is fixed, buying near that level means entering with a smaller downside risk. Also, if most people hold rather than sell and prices drop, demand for cheaper entry points increases, reducing downward pressure.
I see. PPP acts as a benchmark that encourages buying at perceived undervalued levels, which also supports branding. I have another question.
Go ahead.
It seems unlikely to crash, but with the next initial offering price rising gradually, are sharp short term spikes unlikely too?
Excellent question. That's actually a defining feature of AQOS. By guiding prices into a stable, gradual upward trend, it creates a brand image similar to government bonds. Since the next offering price is already set, it's hard to imagine the price doubling or tripling right after the previous offering closes. However, if there are buyers who can't wait for the next offering to sell out, prices might still be driven up in OTC markets.
Buyers who can't wait?
Exactly. There are several services planned on the AQOS platform, and those services will only accept payments in AQOS tokens.
So using those services consumes AQOS tokens, and they get locked up, right?
That's right. Tokens used in those services are locked up, reducing the circulating supply. As a result, the PPP in the next initial offering will increase.
I see. Thinking about it that way, even if all AQOS tokens were sold at PPP, the system would still continue operating. That's reassuring.
That's exactly what AQOS branding is all about.
AQOS, the next evolution.